Heaven high. Welcome, sisters. This is my first live webinar, and the subject of this one is all about Yoni steaming. I just want to share everything about this wonderful habit because it's so easy, it's really effective, it's really gentle, and it feels awesome. So during this call, if there's any questions, or webinar, if there's any questions that you have or anything you'd like to comment on or share about Yoni steaming, please feel free to do so in the chat. And if it's a private issue, you can also private message me and I'll see it. And really, please share. This is awesome information that's been handed down for so many generations through so much time, and it's been really helping a lot of people. So I just want to get right into it, just to give you a little bit of background about myself so you know where I'm coming from. I call myself a womb wellness coach. I actually did pre-med at University of California, San Diego. And while I was studying medicine, my grandmother got cancer, colon cancer. And this was back in 1996 or something, 97. And they were going to do radiology, chemotherapy, and surgery and everything like that. She went to a curandera herbalist in Texas who's been training me for the past 20 years. And in 2 weeks, my mentor flushed all of the cancer out of my grandmother's colon, and it was like floating in the toilet, like she shitted it out into the toilet. And she went back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, he said, I don't want to know what you just did. Go home and live your life. This was over 20 years ago, and my grandmother is still kicking and causing everybody a lot of trouble and cancer free. And so over the years, it just showed me the power of natural foods, living in harmony with the earth, and that there's so many things. Really what my mentor did for my grandmother was fill her body with so much nutrition and so much oxygen and such high vibrations, and just flush away everything that was in the way of that, so that there was no environment that cancer or any disease could live in. And that's the basic principle of natural health, is to just be in alignment with nature. So that's a little bit about me and where I'm coming from and why I'm sharing this. My MO is to make Yoni steaming something like brushing your teeth, where if you don't Yoni steam, you feel weird, like you didn't brush your teeth, because it's so simple. We have so many habits for our nails, the cuticles, habits for the eyebrows, habits for the skin, waxing and exfoliating and highlighting and contouring, and we do nothing to maintain the Yoni. Nothing that is health and life-giving until it gets sick, and then we take it to the doctor. But there's so many habits that will give us really in tune to the beautiful balance of the Yoni and feel it. And Yoni steaming is one of them. So let's get right into it. So Yoni steaming is a habit. Like I keep saying, it's habit. It's not just a one-time thing. It's a habit. It's a lifestyle of self-care and loving yourself and caring about how you feel and the nutritional level that you're in. So really, it's a habit that people all around the world know of from time before time. In South America, they call it a baho. In Asia, they call it a chayok in Vietnamese and language. And China, in traditional Chinese medicine, to this day, it's a very, very common practice to sit over steam with the pelvis exposed, both for men and women. They call it a hip bath, and they use different herbs for spinal issues and sciatica and digestive issues. It's not just for womb nourishment for them. And in Africa, oh my gosh, in Haiti, everybody knows about it. It's the thing that you do after you give birth. It's a staple. In Morocco as well, they steam their whole bodies, not just the yoni, regularly, and especially the yoni. So these are just habits for us to remember, because the statistics that we have right now with disease with our reproductive organs are higher than they've ever been. And especially melanated women, we're dying younger and younger and at higher and higher rates, but yet we're evolving? No, we're devolving away from the truth of our essence. But not anymore, because y'all are here to learn about Yoni steaming. So it's super, super simple. It's just like a facial for your face. You steam some herbs and you put your face over it. Same thing. You're going to boil about a half of a big old spaghetti pot, okay? So we're talking about maybe 3 quarts of water. Then you're going to add herbs. these are herbs that I package, and I also put crystals with it because I'm really into energetic healing. It's real. Tesla talked about it all the time. The watches have crystals in them for a reason. We're crystallized. Crystals are beautiful programmers and transmitters of healing energy, and I put them on crystal copper wire because that's also a wonderful transmitter of electricity. Our thoughts are electric. We can create our world with our consciousness. And what we're doing is consciously creating a womb of light. We're moving out all kinds of obstructions and crystallized formations that would block. And we're going to ease them, dissolve them, and let them float away. Rise our vibration of health and stay there. So that we create an environment in our body and our uterus that disease just can't live in. There's too much oxygen, there's too much light, there's too much beautiful, synchronistic, symmetrical waves, okay? So that there's no disease that can set in there, okay? So you boil the water, take it off the heat, you put your herbs in it. Now, natural healing, especially when you're dealing with herbs, we need bulk herbs, quantities of herbs, lots of herbs. So really, if you have the budget, put the whole bag, okay? And do this at least once a week. Take it off the heat, cover it, put the whole bag of herbs in there, let it sit until it's cool enough to sit over. You're going to test the temperature on the inside of your wrist, okay? Test that temperature. When it doesn't burn, that's when you're going to sit over the steam. And that's where all the questions come in. Like, how in the world am I supposed to sit over some of this steam? So there's lots of ways. So my friends in Morocco, they wear gowns called jalabas, and it goes down to the floor, and they just stand over their pot, and then they do their squats. They do their exercises. And a key part of Yoni steaming is the squatting position. You want your hips to at least be a little lower. As soon as they start going lower, then now you're opening some stuff up, and you can get some good medicine in there, okay? And so you can stand over and squat. You can do a yoga pose over it, like the frog, and squat and hold it. Good for the muscles, good for meditation. You can, a friend of mine puts the pot in her tub, puts the pot up against the rim of the tub, sits on the rim of the tub, and just puts the towel over her legs to contain the steam. That's a simple way to do it. A lot of women put a Sitz Bath, plastic. They buy a little plastic Sitz Bath, which is just a plastic bowl that you can put on your toilet. And then they put the steam water in there and sit over that. I don't really recommend using anything that has to do with the toilet. I feel like you should use this opportunity to feel as though you're nourishing yourself, to feel as though you're on a beautiful throne and just everything is gorgeous and beautiful. We're not deep sanitizing this here thing. We are caressing it with nutrition because it feels awesome. It feels amazing. You feel it down your legs, your nerves, your feet, the bottom of your feet feel like they're getting a massage from the inside. Okay, so now those are all the ways that you could steam with stuff you already have at home, or really cheap and expensive ways. I make handmade wooden seats, and this is an example of one. Okay, you're gonna put it over any standard 5-gallon paint bucket. It's got these little grooves in it to put on the rim. So here's an example of just a bin, clean bin, and then you're gonna put that there so it doesn't slide back and forth, okay? And you see the hole. And you would just fill that bin with your tea, sit on it. You can massage the acupressure points for your ovaries and your womb. They are on the hollows of your wrist and your ankles. You can visualize light, a womb of light in the bottom of your pelvic, bowl. You can see it swimming with joy and pink and yellow, red and orange. You can see yourself and feel thankful for every experience it's ever had. Thankful for the growth and the strength that those experiences give you. You can journal. The main thing is basically just get the steam. Just expose your yoni to steam for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Literally, once you get 20 minutes in, you're going to be like, oh my God, I want another 20 minutes and another 20 minutes. And you can do that. And you can do this every day. Okay, because your yoni is like an eye. And that's a good rule of thumb. A good rule of thumb is what you wouldn't put in your eye, You don't put it in your yoni. Okay. So if it can go in your eye, if it's hygienic enough and sterile enough and diluted enough and okay for the eye, then you put it in yoni. Otherwise, no, it's too harsh for the yoni. It's just too precious and delicate for that. I mean, she's not delicate, but she's got a balance and she don't like people disturbing it. Okay. So the herbs that I use and what you can use to steam, I use a lot of different herbs that they're all organic and they're all American herbs that are on this continent that we're on right now, so that you can kind of grow them yourself, be aware of them yourself, complete the circle with your foot on the ground and the herbs that you use and put in your body. They're local-ish, okay, all organic, and they're yarrow, things that will dissolve mucus, roses, lavender, red clover, red raspberry. These are herbs that are super, super rich in nutrition for the womb and the smooth muscle of the womb, okay? But let's say you don't have the budget to buy these herbs. You still deserve health. And guess what? The earth is supporting you with that, because you can use peppermint, chamomile, spearmint, vinegar, apple cider, organic apple cider vinegar, lemon rind, orange rind. Okay. I do not ever recommend using essential oils when we are talking about anything for nourishing the womb, or putting that would be exposing on the thin tissues of the vulva, only because essential oils are very, very, very effective at killing everything that is of a lower vibration, or that's bacteria or virus and yeast. And we actually have friendly bacteria and yeast that live in our vaginal canal that we need for balance. They're our friends, and they massage through many, many layers of tissue and fat and stuff like that. But when we're opening it up and letting nutrients in, essential oils shouldn't have anything to do with them. They're way too strong, or we'll do with the process. They're way too strong. So yeah, so those are the things that you could use at home. Anything, green juice too, chlorophyll. Really, for real, water alone, just hot water steam alone does a wonderful job of soothing and calming. And now, there's many women who mustn't steam. Steaming is a push in a very specific direction. It's pushing nutrients very gently, but very constantly and very consistently up and in. Okay, if you have any open wounds that are infected, you don't want to spread your infection. So we're not going to push anything and make it go deeper into your tissues. That's why you wouldn't steam if you have an infection, any scratches, any tears, any open sores. Okay, we're not going to steam during that time. You're not going to steam if you have an IUD, any type of Nuva ring, anything in your uterus that you don't want to come out, because steaming is encouraging things to come out. So you're not going to steam if you have implants in your uterus that you don't want to come out, okay? Nor if you're pregnant. When you're pregnant, you're in a beautiful ceremony already. We do not do any invasive things when you're pregnant. Listen to your body, okay? When you're on your period, you do not steam. You're in your own ceremony with a portal already wide open, all kind of portals wide open. I personally am learning that in that time, it is the new moon time. It's time to take vacation from everything, go in nature, put the blood onto the dirt, let her feel you in what you need, so that synchronistically the things that you need for your nutrition will show up. Become one with this entire beautiful matrix that we're in of the natural world, and you see how it'll support you. And so there's no steaming during period time as well, moon time as well. Now, the things that you can do if you have an infection or you have an IUD is that you can sit in the tea itself. Very different action from when you're sitting over the steam. When you're steaming, it's kind of like an aggressive, even though it feels gentle and you don't feel nothing going up in the pores and pushing things up there, it is. It's happening on a molecular level and a cellular level. So when you bathe, though, you sit your bum in the big, in the tub of water with this tea. You're dissolving everything. You see, you're dissolving stuff out. You're not pushing anything up there. So that's why a Sitz Bath. This is what they call a Sitz Bath. You sit your bum. A lot of times it happens after an episiotomy when you get cut during birth so that your tissues don't tear, or when you do have a tear. My mother was in a kind of progressive hospital when she had me in California. And after she had me, she tore during the process, and they gave her a sitz bath twice a day. She had to sit in hot salt water to soothe the inflammation and heal the stitches really fast. And it was awesome for her. It felt beautiful, and it worked. So that's the precautions that you want to take. Now, what happens is, why do you do it? What are the health benefits? And listen, I also want to encourage you that while you're listening, please feel free. If I'm going too fast or you need more clarification, let me know. The chat is wide open, okay? Why do we steam? Well, because it's a wonderful way to melt the mucus that builds up there, to get the blood flowing in that area around a lot. In modern lifestyles, we don't use the hips and move the pelvis as much as we're supposed to, the bones in the pelvis. They should be in movement a lot. We should be moving and squatting and picking up, but we sit. We sit a lot. We don't walk a lot either. So the pelvic bowl gets kind of stagnant with a lot of things because of gravity. I don't know if you know anybody in a wheelchair. They're highly advised to never smoke, because the smoke will settle in their pelvic bowl, and they don't walk and they can't move that and circulate it. So it really sits there, and they're in a high risk of uterine and bladder infections and cancer, because it will settle there. Same for everybody. Stuff will settle there, especially with our sedentary lifestyles. So these kinds of treatments help put nourishment in there and move it around, get a healthy circulation going. Okay, for nutrition and for, think of any pond of water, any body of water. When it's moving, it can stay fresh. And it just sits there, there's opportunities for growth and things that you don't want. Okay, so it's the circulation and the stagnation and the nutrition. These herbs, contain a lot of volatile oils, and the medicine does get transferred so gently, without overdosing, without the possibility of overdosing, straight into your bloodstream and supply. There's a reason why this is almost a staple in Chinese medicine, hip baths, and because it delivers medicine right into your bloodstream directly for your digestive system and the entire womb portal. Now, that's what fibroids are. It's important for us to realize that fibroids and these types of tumors, it's the body working. The body's working. The body's saying there's a bunch of chemicals here that if it touches the flesh, it might bore a hole or cause irritation and inflammation. So let's cover it, buffer it with pus, with mucus, with water, with whatever else you can. Well, then it gets in a little pocket of a little fibroid that's now perfect for bacteria and yeast and stuff like that to grow and flourish, because it's waiting for you to flush it out. It just hasn't, you're not flushing it out. The minute you begin to massage, to drink green juices, to drink a lot of water, to steam regularly, the body says, oh, check it. She's ready to let this go. And then you're going to have a little bit more discharge. And you're going to have a little bit more of those clumps during your period until that built up stagnation is out. Then you should start noticing that your periods are lighter, shorter. You don't have that black in, black out discharge of your periods. It starts bright red and it ends bright red. And that's kind of what you're looking for, because you don't want dead blood just sitting there in your system going black and getting, what's that called? Coagulated, okay? No. You want that out. When you have that black before and after, that's a symptom of constipation. Your period's constipated. It's really simple. This is nothing to be scared about. There's so many things on our side. It's really just about eating healthy, drinking right, treating yourself right, and doing these wonderful habits such as Yoni Steaming, okay? And like I said, this is nothing that you even have to spend any money on. You got a pot right now in your kitchen. You got, I'm sure, some chamomile tea, some mint tea, and try it. Just sit over it however you can. Before I had these seeds, I would use a big metal pot. I was first learning about Yoni Steaming, and I would take a big body towel and then twist it into a noodle and put it around the rim of my pot so I could sit on it. And that worked awesome because there was a big old hole, and then I just steamed the whole butt. It was awesome. It feels awesome. Okay. Awesome. Then after you steam, you want to lay down. Put your feet up and rest. Let the circulation come up to the womb, and let the medicine just settle into them tissues and get to work. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. We've gone through most of I can't really think of anything else. This is how to do it, why to do it, what you can do with what you have at home already, where it comes from. And on my website, I sell the herbs. Okay, like I said, this is a combination of 7 organic herbs that are really good. It's kind of an overall tonic for all wombs from first period till past menopause that'll help maintain balance, dissolve anything stagnant, and give lots and lots of nutrition, minerals, and vitamins that everything down there really needs to stay supple, okay, and strong. So we got the single use. You can get 2 to 3 steams out of this, but I recommend putting the whole bag in. We're not really used to taking herbs here. We're not really used to realizing it takes a lot of herbs to make a difference over time, consistently. So if you need to, and if the budget's constrictive, you can put it in thirds. Like I said, I recommend the whole thing. At least once a week. Not that, at least once before, once after your period, you will really notice the difference in the cramps, no cramping, in the duration, and all that wonderful stuff, and your moods and the mood swings. Then there's the month supply. This is for you to do a steam once a week, a big fat steam, or you could do 3 times a week if you use a smaller amount, but it should last you a whole month, okay? And it's all of them come with tons of crystals. Okay, so you hold them, you pray them, you kiss them, you put them in the thing, and let your yoni just soak up all that good vibration, okay? And then, like I said, we also have the seats with and without legs for your convenience. But my MO, the most important thing for me is to not be the oldest, healthiest, flyest chick on the planet by myself. I want my sisters with me, okay? We deserve health. This is just information. It's not money keeping us from this health. It's information. This is information that our mothers knew, and our mothers' mothers knew, and their mothers' mothers knew, that came straight from the earth, okay? Because we're of the earth. We're made of the earth. We're supposed to be eating these things. We're supposed to be doing these things, and there's many, many, many more habits as well. So many habits. From clay suppositories to massages to oil suppository to black seed oil. I mean, there's so many. So that's why I started with just one. And each webinar is going to go over one modality. Yoni steaming is one of my favorites because it feels so good. Anyone can do it. Almost anyone can do it. But that for themselves. It's really easy. It's really, really inexpensive. And it makes a difference. I've gotten so many testimonials. A sister friend of mine who had cyst problems so badly, it was bothering her. She did one steam and it drained. One steam and it drained. Okay? And I don't like to have them do the testimonies because a lot of times these are issues that we're a little bit reserved about. It's a yoni. But I would love for us to be able to, at least that I am a safe place where you can talk to me. There's no judgment here. This is just health. There's a lot that we've been through, and now it's time to throw away the bones and integrate the meat, the strength, and the joy that we get out of being so wise and so experienced with these yonis. Okay? So, the offer that I have for everybody seeing this webinar until the 29th of June is 35% off of any of my Yoni steaming products. So that's the herbs, the month supply, the single supply, the seat with or without legs. 35% off. So my seat with legs is $164. With the coupon code, it is $106. So that's like $60-something off of that. And everything else that's Yoni steaming related until Sunday is 35% off. And it's only for webinar attendees and replay attendees until Sunday. Please share. Like I said, my MO is for us to be healthy. And I want my sisters with me. And I want us shining and healthy. I want to see who you really are. I want to see your real light without any of this stagnation on you or this matrix. Okay? There's a natural matrix calling our name, and it feels so good to be home. So, okay, so let's see. This is my first webinar. So I'm going to see how I can put this offer up. The code is Goddess629 when you go on my website and to check out. You're going to put Goddess629. I'm putting it up on the screen right now if I can figure this out. And listen, I want to gift. I see people here, and I want to gift you. I want to give out some free stuff. Okay? So anybody to just say hi and say how you're doing. Give me anything. Give me any life back. Put an emoji smile, your name, anything. How is this webinar going for you? The first 3 people, I'm going to send you guys a free bag of Yoni Steaming herbs. And just put your name or put, you know, I need to be able to email you so I can get your address and send these to you. And you get a free bag of herbs and crystals. No strings attached. You don't got to pay shipping. You don't got to pay anything. I just really enjoy the fact that you guys are here. I'm really, really grateful that this information has an audience, because it's time to live longer now. It's time to feel better now. It's time to rebirth the goddess within. So, love your womb, steam your yoni. Reach out to me, okay? If you need anything. And any questions about this, any questions about womb wellness in the natural ways to care for anything in general, if I don't know, I could point you into the direction who does know. All right. And I thank you so much. Okay. Don't forget to reach out. You get your free herbs. All right. Peace and love.